So Steve, one of the things I know you're interested in, which interests me as well, is this idea of traditional direct marketers and direct marketing and how that's being translated now into the online world, and perhaps some of the companies that are using strategies and tactics in different and the same ways, and we can learn from others in history. So just tell me a bit more about what you've looked at that.
Absolutely. I mean, I will argue that the people who started Amazon, the people who started eBay, these are new pioneers of direct marketing more than they are sort of online people. But let me give you an example. There's a direct marketing hall of fame in America. Only America. We have lots of halls of fame. And you have a list of people who did great things in direct marketing that nobody had heard of. The person who invented yellow pages and directories, the person in regression analysis, and all sorts of interesting direct marketing terms that are seen as hackneyed or faded glory techniques. Well, the reality is, they're being revived, but they're being applied in new ways, new medium. So, for example, a directory is helping people find what they need. Well, what is that if not Google? It's a better way of getting what you need. Or the guy who invents the catalog, he's finding a new way for farmers in Iowa to buy products more easily than having to drive 4 hours. What is eBay or Amazon, if not a revolution in selling? And then within that, you have application of tactics to improve targeting and things that direct marketers will recognize. But they're sort of being reinvented. And I think at the heart of that are some of these insights that drove those techniques.
I understand. So from a business point of view, sitting here watching this today, what are perhaps a couple of the insights that businesses should be learning from the direct marketers of old, and you're seeing being applied on sites such as Google or Amazon or eBay, that people could be using in their own businesses, perhaps not difficult to use, but perhaps unaware of, that could really help them in their own communications?
Targeting, but targeting in a different way. I think when you say targeting, people kind of get it. They go, yeah, I got to find the people who are more likely to use my product. But you get behind that and get into the depth of targeting. Direct marketers, for example, look for inexpensive ways of targeting people. And sometimes in direct response TV, that meant showing an ad at 2:30 at night. Not because you had the biggest numbers of people watching, because you could achieve the greatest number of people at the lowest cost per media. So innovative methods of targeting to find people would be an application of a direct marketing methodology, if you want to use fancy words.
And that's interesting for me, because one of the things that I say to people, and we've talked about content before, but one of the things I say to people is that one of the questions you should be asking online, and people don't ask this, is where do my customers learn?
Yeah.
In other words, where do my customers hang out? If you're targeting midwives, they go to the Royal College of Midwives site, or if it's lawyers, they use the Law Society site, or is it a Chamber of Commerce site? Where do they learn? And perhaps are these places we should be? Because I think people are very obsessed now with their own websites and their own YouTube channel, their own real estate, and that's all great. No one's saying you shouldn't have those. But actually starting to look at perhaps the other places you should be, which is something direct marketers always did, didn't they? They knew where.
Thinking through the mindset. And I would add, I agree with that completely, but I would add to it, think through not only where they go for their information, but the mindset when they're there and when. For example, agencies are always obsessed with getting clients to look at their websites and look at their information. What they don't realize is the most trafficked, the new business websites are the ones that collect all the agencies that have them there. The most trafficked time is Sunday afternoons, because that's when the marketing directors actually have time off from all the calls they're getting from all the new business companies to actually have a moment of quiet and peace to look at different agencies on those websites. And I think if you understand that, then you can start mapping out and targeting the right moments, not just the right sites.
So just one other thing I'd be interested to get some insights on then is, so if we talk about targeting, we can learn that from traditional direct marketing, how it's being applied online today. One other thing I'd be really interested in, because this was always a really good skill set of direct marketers, is the messaging itself. So it wasn't just that the targeting was good, but that they seem to understand and be able to think through the customer's eyes and get the messaging right. How do you see that being translated online? Who's doing it well? How can people do that better?
Well, behavioral targeting online is one of the more interesting examples, where you'll get ads served up to you on Facebook or on their websites, and suddenly it reflects what you've been looking at. I was looking at vacuum cleaners, and suddenly I'm getting lots of ads for vacuum cleaners in my Facebook site, and I'm feeling a complete loser. But you can see how your paper's tracked, and then they'll push those ads up. And that makes a lot of sense. It's very relevant, isn't it? Because you're thinking about it, you're searching for it, and actually you don't mind getting an ad about it, providing it's relevant, and it's got new information that you'd find useful. But I think it's a beautiful marriage of technology and the insight of the right message at the right time.
Thank you.